sharing. Okay. I hope you can see the screen. Again, we are into Colab and we are going ahead from where we left yesterday. A very interesting but somewhat different way of seeing or just viewing this programming in Python, right? So we have covered if-else ladder yesterday. So I hope that everyone now is comfortable using if-else, right? And there is no doubt, we have just seen that we may have combination of the data. Whenever you are working with the data, you have to actually compare the data. If it is same, if it is not same, you need to check it out whether it is not same, so how to convert it, whether to convert the left side or whether to convert the right side. And we have seen very first function, that is lower, which is the library function, or you can say built-in function for Python, which will convert the string into the lowercase. So that was the thing. Now we are going to go ahead and we are going to see somewhat changes or somewhat advancement that we have over here in Python. Now let's check once again the string. As I said, I want to make it upper or some new things of the string. So I may say, yeah, hello world. I'm not going to type so long string, and I'll say dot upper is the function. And then I'll say print always. So it will take some time as usual, right? And as we know, actually those who have answered it correctly, they know that it will convert everything into upper. So just the thing is, yes, as you go and practice or as you read the books and so on, you will get to know for this function. So this is upper function which will convert into uppercase. Now it is your choice whether to go for all lower or all uppercases. Fine. Okay. Now next, go ahead with the string itself. I'm going to tell you few more things about the string which are very interesting. But the next thing that I asked in the coding is that in the test, if I want to display Sudha Murthy as the highlighted one, so I was having the string saying I want to read books of, say, Sudha Murthy. It was the string, and right now we are printing it. Print str. So it will, we know that now it will print it. The only thing is that the change I want to do here is I want to highlight Sudha Murthy, right? So what I did is I wrote this way. In the example question, I wrote this way, and I asked Kiki what will happen. Now initially those who are not aware of the other programming language might get confused, but yes, in case of Python, don't worry, it will do this. So it will highlight this. Now what you have to remember is you have started with double quotes, right? So you have to use single quotes over here. If you use double quotes, what will happen is the question. So let's go and check it out what happens, and then we'll begin. Oh, it is saying that I'm so sorry, it is a syntax error. You're surprised saying, Priya, how it come? The thing is that whenever you started your double quotes over here, and to just quote this Sudha Murthy or to highlight Sudha Murthy, you have used again double quote. This is not the starting quote. It is called as the ending quote. So over here everything is in pair. When we say parenthesis or the round bracket, so if there is opening round bracket, there has to be the closing one, right? So that way, if you have started the quotes, you have to somewhere complete it. So as you have used here, so it is used as the closing quotes, and hence the error. So I need to use then the single quote. Vice versa is true now. If you have started with single quote, then you have to give double quotes. Now the question, if I use triple quotes, what will happen? Please answer. if I use triple quotes while starting over here or maybe here. In case of Sudha Murthy, if I would have used triple quotes. Now triple quotes can be combination of single or double quota. So I may start with single quote thrice, that is called as triple quotes for starting, and I may use triple quotes at the end. Do you think it will print or whatever expected output you have? Can I get the few answers? Will the output remain same or there is an error? I cannot do so. Yes. So one of them is saying yes, it will give us the desired output. So let's check who is correct. So let's check. Quick check. Yes. Done. So you can. So let's just remember, you have to start with one, you have to end with the same, and in between whatever you have written, if it is other than that, it will repeat the same. So if it is single quote, it was single quote, it has highlighted using single quote. Now we have used triple quote, then it will be displayed in triple quotes, right? Fine. So same thing. We'll go next with the strings as well. Strings are really interesting in Python. So what to do? Yeah. Okay, I will say once again, str equals India is my country. Okay, done. And I want to print something called as recording started. Str. So let me check what happens with this. So we have a function called as reverse, which will reverse it, but it is not able to display. We'll see how to display it. Before that, we go further. So there are different ways of doing or playing with the string in case of Python. Now, last time Parimal has asked me one question. I just want to come on to that. Now I have declared str variable over there. Let me try now in the new cell whether it identifies that. So I'm still saying str. And to my surprise, yes, it is still there. Correct? So always remember, if you have declared a variable in the current whatever is your file or the notebook, it is always alive in the next cells. So if you say that here str was having initially I want to read books of Sudha Murthy, later I just overwritten it with India is my country. So please remember the str variable remains the same, declared at a single place, and you are putting the value. Like we say something sometimes, wherever sometimes we find in one bottle or you can say dabba Maggi, next time we get something different in that. So the same way here. Right. Now what I want to show is key this string can be sliced. Correct? So here today I am going to show you something that is called as slicing in Python. Now this concept is really interesting and widely used because it helps us write very less code or less lines. So depending on the applications or the programs that you solve, you get the differences using the slicing. So slicing, as the name suggests, it is going to cut into pieces. Okay, instead of a loaf, we have a slice of a bread. Now to indicate that slicing, we use the square bracket. So automatically it has given me opening, closing both. Don't have to worry about it. Okay. Now, very first, I'm going to say 3. Correct? Now, whichever is my string. Now, currently my string is India is my country, and I'm saying that str3, print str3. Now, this 3 is the position and you are extracting, you are requesting to get the character at the third position, right? So whenever you give square bracket and a single value, it says that it will extract the data from that position, as we have with the bogie of a train. We say S5 is my seat number. So in the, or maybe in S5 70. So in the S5 bogie, you will go and check it out, the 70th seat number where I am there. The same thing here, that is called as slicing, right? So let's try what it does. According to you, which character will be printed? I'll say D, because it is 3, right? So we are extracting the third character, so it should display me D. So let's go ahead. Oh, it's not D, but it's India's I. Why? I'm surprised. Don't worry, don't surprise. Always remember, if whenever we work in the strings, string starts at 0. Correct? The counting of the string character starts at 0. So I may say India is at, I is at 0, N is at 1, D is at 2, and I, the next I is at third position. So it exactly follows our number system. We have number system from 0 to 9 in decimal. So the same way over here strings follow the same thing. Correct? This is the first slicing rule. So if you give a single value in that square bracket, it will extract the single piece from that position. Let's go ahead. The same string I am considering. Now this time I am saying str. 7 again I'll take 3 and then colon and then I'll say 6. Okay. Now carefully see here, I am saying please print, let me just scroll maybe up, yeah, so that you can. So I am saying here, okay, I have not executed it, so this I is previous one. So it is saying that 3 6. What I'll do is I'll put this as a statement as well inside double quotes, so that we'll come to know which output is for what. Okay, and I am running. Correct. Now once again I'll write it my string here. I declared that string as India is my country. Correct. Now in the second piece, I'll write the explanation. In the second piece of the slice, I am saying 3, 6. Now the second slicing rule is saying that, so maybe a string variable, typically it has to be a string variable, and in bracket if you have two parts it becomes the start colon end. So what we are saying here is, in this string, whatever is the string in India is my country, start at the third character till 6. So I now know that the third character is I, then fourth character is this, fifth character is this, and sixth character was I, but it has printed IA. So actually it has printed IA and this thing space. So as it was a space, it is not displaying it. So let me change maybe here. I'll say 8. So we'll try to get all the characters from 3 till 8. Correct? So see, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Again, I don't have the 8th character. Correct? Now why so? Because whenever you say end, so it is always end minus 1. Maybe for some of you it may be somewhat complex, but yes, just remember this is the slicing rule. So slice says that start from the starting position and wait before the end, not exactly the end. So when you say I want to extract all the characters, so you have to be very careful. You have to keep a buffer of +1. You have to add it, right? You have to say it is 9. So if you wanted to extract the 8th character, you would have said 9. Correct? Are you clear with this? Because based on this, we are going to have certain programs later, and hence I am explaining. Okay? So this is the slice rule number 2. The very first slice rule is this. In square bracket, slicing means putting the data into the square bracket. So whenever you are putting a single value inside a slice or the slice operator or square bracket operator, it is going to extract the character from that position. It will always be a single character. Whereas if you give two values, so it becomes start and end. We say that start is inclusive and end is exclusive. In the sense, we are not going to count the end position. So it will be always end -1 that we have written. Okay. Now the third rule of slicing, once again. So the third rule of slicing is, I'll say once again str, and then we are going to say 3. Then I may say till what? I'll say just a 15. I don't know whether the 15 thing is there or not. And here I'll say 2. Correct? And the same thing I'll put in. So this will be printed as it is, just to cross check. It will give us idea exactly for what we are getting the output. Okay. Now let's check. ISM0. Oh, no, it's not 0, it is O. Anybody could explain this? What has happened? Actually, I wanted something from 350. Now I confused with third one. Now in this case, very first, the slicing rule 3. So it becomes your string variable. Then slicing operator, it is star, then colon, it is n, colon, we say step. Now step in the sense what? How you are going to go further. So I am saying that every time you have to, or you can say skip. So you have to skip 2 letters. Right? So it will come to the third, then it will extract the third letter, then it will just say skip the next character and next character and go to the next one. So it will say that I have skipped these 2 letters. In case of India is, it has skipped the space and I. 2 letters, it has printed S. Then it has just again skipped 2 and it has displayed me next. So this way it will go on skipping the. So you can specify how exactly you want. And to your surprise, now I am going. Okay, I'm not going to fill this square bracket right now, or maybe I'll say 0 colon -1. I'm giving this particular syntax, which may be somewhat confusing, and here I'm writing this. Correct? So whatever I have written here is different than whatever I have written here purposely. So let's go ahead and check what it gives us. Oh. Can anybody guess what has happened? Yes, can I get some of the responses in the chat? The third thing, whatever we have, correct, it is the reverse. So see, reversing the strings in Python, it is really simple. So what happened is, over here I have written 0, then colon nothing, and then -1. Now the thing is that at this moment it has switched the syntax. So it is saying that please start at 0. Whenever I give here nothing, then colon nothing, and then -1. So it says that start at 0, go to the last, but now after going to the last, please print in the reverse order. Correct? So this -1 is taking the last character first and it is going to display. So it's really helpful in many of the applications that are based on such things. Correct? Like say for example, we have something called as palindrome. Palindromes are nothing but the strings that are same from first to last and last to first, like Aurora. So Aurora is one name which is actually same if you read it from left to right or right to left, right? So these are the palindrome strings. So in that case we use it and other things. I hope till this you have understood. So see, whenever you don't mention anything, it assumes that I have to do it. Maybe start right from start. I have to continue till end if you're not giving the end value. But what if you don't give step? Like in this case of 3 to 8, we haven't given the step. So in that case, step is always 1. So always increment by 1. We say that increment by 1. So step normally in every language by default it is step is +1. It always forwards itself by 1 character. Whereas it is optional. If you give it the value 1, that is for just explanation. If you are giving any other value than 1, then it is going to skip those many letters. I hope you can understood this. Correct? And the another way of using print. In case of print, we can use a message along with the data. Done? Okay. Can we go further? Okay. Now based on this, so just this remember, because I have certain questions and not questions, just certain few examples based on this logic. We are not going to use this exactly, but yes, we have the logic. Fine. Now, what else we'll do today? Today is something. We'll go ahead with the next control structure. That is called as loop or iteration. So normally, whenever we do something, even in daily life, it is not only the single, it is in iteration. Like say for example, if you go to school, if you go to offices, then it is into iteration. Say Monday to Friday, you continue the same routine. So wherever we use the word routine, it is nothing but the loop. What happened to Saturday and Sunday? No, usually I get up at say 5 in the morning for in the weekdays. I say no, on Saturdays and Sundays it is my weekly off, so I sleep till say 9, sometimes 10. So it is breaking up that. So whenever you have certain routes or routines, you put it continuously, that comes under the loop. Now, in case of Python, also you can keep the thing into the loop, continuation going forward on, like we do with menu. So we go to the menu and then we ask for the menu, so whatever the dish, and then again we go to the menu further, maybe for another thing whenever we want to order the next thing. So that in continuation we go on, and hence loop becomes really important part of our programming. So we have covered the one decision control structure, and now the second control structure is called as looping or iterating. So iterating is actually two parts based how you are solving the problem or which problem you are solving right now. So we have somebody's mic is still on. Okay, so let's go ahead. Very basic, and then we'll go ahead. So yeah, we'll take multiplication table. Example. Now, as far as loops are concerned, in case of Python, we have two loops. One is called as while loop, and another one is called as for loop. But the thing is that we don't go for while loop a lot. Everywhere we use the for loop, and the reason you'll come to know soon. Very first, we'll go with while loop, and then we'll go with for loop. These are the keywords. As the name suggests, they behave. So typically, if you want to see the category, we call it as the entry control loops. These are the entry control loops. Means what? This is the example. We travel by bus. So if I say want to go to Katral, so I will check whether bus goes to Katral. And if yes, then only I just go for that option. So every time we do the same. If I want to visit friend's place, then we first check on which floor he or she is, and then we just press the button on the lift and we go. Or maybe if you don't have the choice of the lift, then yes, you go on counting the floors. When there are no electricity, so that time we have to really count down. So we always check first. So entry control, as the name suggests, they always check first. So checking is nothing but checking the condition. They check the condition, and that condition is always terminating condition. Correct? So unless and until we have any terminating condition, loop will go on, and that we don't want. It will go into the forever loop, and it will never stop. And yeah, that is avoidable condition in the programming. Correct? Whereas same thing happens with the for loop. Before doing anything, it checks for the condition. If it is true, then only it will go further. Otherwise, they will come out. Correct? So in short, let me see whether I can show you the diagram somewhere else. I'm just, yeah, I have a diagram. Can you see the screen? So if you can, just let me know by saying yes, because I won't get whether you are getting this or not. Suganya, this thing guy? Okay. Thank you, Suganya. Yeah. I expect at least yes or no from you. तुम्हाला जर बोलायचं असेल आणि मराठीत बोलायचं असेल तरी तुम्ही अनम्यूट करून बोलू शकता. इथे लँग्वेजचा म्हणजे बाकीच्यांना तसा काही प्रश्न येणार नाही. लँग्वेजचा फक्त माझ्यासाठी हे आहे की बाकीचे पण आहेत ज्यांना कदाचित मराठी कळत नाही, त्यांच्यासाठी मी इंग्लिशमध्ये सांगते, पण तुम्हाला काहीच प्रॉब्लेम नाही, राईट? किंवा ऍटलिस्ट वेळेवर येस नो काहीतरी म्हणणं खूप गरजेचं आहे. थँक्यू. So this is what the flow chart for loop is. So always we have seen till yesterday this particular diamond shape calls as the test. So always you test the condition. It has two branches for yes and no. So there are certain steps to be followed when yes. There are certain steps to be followed when there is no. Now we are going one step forward. If we have done that, then what next? It is not always stop. It may be in continuation, keep on repeating, right? Like for example, आपण आता जेवणार 9 वाजता, मग एक घास खाल्ला की थांबणार काय रे तुम्ही? नाही, दुसरा खायला पाहिजे ना, पोट कुठं भरलं अजून. सो तुम्ही दुसरा घास खाणार. मग तुम्ही काय चेक करता की अरे माझं पोट भरलंय का? तर पोट भरलं असेल तर तुम्ही थांबणार, नाहीतर नाही. मग अजून दे. हा, आता तो आंब्याच्या सीझन मध्ये आमरस असेल तर कदाचित तुम्ही त्याच्याही थोडंसं पुढे जाल, पण कुठेतरी थांबाल. सो ऑलवेज यू हॅव टू हॅव अ टर्मिनेटिंग कंडिशन and the certain thing goes on and on till that condition is satisfied. So what will happen now? Your program will come down at a certain point when it has to now check the condition. If that condition is satisfied, if it is true, then it will perform its task and then it will go further. Now before going further, it has something called as update expression. I'll let you know that, and again it will check. So I just said ki whatever, again I go in Marathi and I'll tell you की काही वेळा आपल्याला जेव्हा देवाची काम काहीतरी करायला सांगितली असतात, नैवेद्य दाखवणे, तर सांगतात ताटाच्या भोवती 3 वेळा पाणी फिरवा की आपण अगदी 3 वेळा असं मोजून 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 करतो. करेक्ट. सो एकदा झालं, दोनदा झालं, तीनदा झालं. तसंच ओवाळताना जे औक्षण करतात वाढदिवसाला वगैरे किंवा भाऊबीजेला, रक्षाबंधनला, तेव्हा 3दा करायचं. तर ते आपण अगदी मोजून करतो, त्यात कमी जास्त अजिबात करत नाही. जास्त झाल्याने भावाचं आयुष्य जास्त वाढेल तर ते आपल्याला कदाचित चालणार नाही. आपण लगेच 3दा झाल्यावर थांबतो. राईट. सो दॅट इज व्हॉट इज दिस अपडेट एक्सप्रेशन. एकदा झालं, दोनदा झालं आणि 3दा झालं. सो आय वॉन्टेड टू डू फॉर थ्राइज, आय डिड इट and done. Right. So this is what is loop. So till that time continue doing the process, and once it is satisfied then come out, and this is called as then the loop. So let's get started over here. I want I'll delete this cell. I don't want this cell. Okay, we want to do certain things. I wanted to show you how to have the multiplication table of 2. Again, we'll go back to the school days purposely. So I know that 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4 and so forth. But now, even though we know that, we need to really find out the exact process. What? Whenever I say that table of 2, it starts with 2 and end at 20. Done. Next. Means what exactly happened? Go in detail. In detail, actually speaking, 2 remains the same, but it starts its operation from 2 into 1, then 2 into 2, likewise till it becomes 2 into 10. So what is happening is 2 remains constant, same, but the value 1 to 10 varies, and this is called as the counter or the expression that it gets updated. Correct. So always we need to track whether my counter has incremented or not. It is not always the same. As we have seen in the example of string, I may have the string that is printed from first character to last character, or I may have the situation wherein I need to go from last character to first. So my counter sometimes increment from one value to second to third and so on, whereas sometimes from x value it goes on decreasing. Right. So that we have to take care of. So we should have 3 things in our mind. One is initial value, the second is the terminating condition for loops, and the third is updating, or you can say incrementing or decrementing the counter. Normally we call it as the counter. 1 2 3 4 असं होत राहतं, किती वेळा करायचं असतं. So we generally call it as the counter. Okay, fine. So come here, and now we are going to use value for that. So I'll say that initial value, or maybe okay, I'll say counter only. Count will start at 1. 2 is anyway a hard number because we have been told to display the table of 2, so I'm not going to store it anywhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use while as the keyword. It has the keyword same as if. After while I need to put the terminating condition. What is my terminating condition? At 10 I need to stop. So I say till my count, the value of count is less than or equal to 10. Correct? I'm saying that till it becomes 10, I want to do something. What? We want to just print 2 into count. Done. Then we need to add 1 to it, because initially it was 1, later it has to have 2. So I will say count equals count plus 1. Now those who know the programming of other languages, we don't have the count plus plus kind of a thing in Python. That's it. And to come out of the loop, I have to just come like this way. Just indentation, change the indentation, and try to give the message so that you'll come to know that this has come out of that particular loop. Now what will happen? Count is initialized to 1. So while count is less than 10, at this place it will say what is the value of count? It is 1. Is 1 less than 10? Yes, the condition is true. It will come out. It will print the value 2 into count. The count was 1. So it will print 2. Now count is incremented to 2. Once again it will check. Automatically it will come. We don't have to tell anything. So as it is while, so it has to come here. It will check whether 2 is less than 10. Yes. Now it will multiply 2 into 2 and so on. So let's go ahead and boom. Yes. We have the multiplication table. Done? Everyone is clear with this? So this is called as the while loop or entry control loop. Before going inside, it will just check for the value of count. If it is satisfied, then okay, otherwise no. So you can see that here, last time whenever it was executed, the value was 11. Now as 11 is not less than or equal to 10, hence it cut that particular loop, broke that loop, and it has come out and has been, I have done my work. Any questions over here anybody wants to ask? Because I'm not going to spend time on while, because while has very limited usage. We are going to go with for. Okay. You don't have any doubts? That means I am free to go ahead, right? Okay. Thank you. Now the same program will do with for loop. So for loop is actually, in case of Python, it is really flexible loop, and you may not have thought, or those who know the programming, they will be really surprised with what all things we can do with the for loop and the applications of it. So chalo. So very first I want to print the same. Again, I have the counter, or I'll say now shortcut CNT equals 1. Now I'll say for CNT in range then colon. Every time we have to use colon over here in case of Python for control structures. So 10, I'll say print CNT into 2, and after that print out of the for loop. Let's check. Oh, I got it, but something went wrong. Anybody who will help me? So this is how the for loop is written. Now, as I said, we need to check for actually 3 things. What? One is the initial value, terminating condition, and increment or decrement part. So if you come to for loop, you will be surprised that initialization is there. Yeah. Where is the condition and increment part? I am so sorry. So for that reason, to replace that, yeah, we have seen. Correct. Sanendra has suggested one thing. I'll update that. So we have a range function, call it as here like input or like print. Now we gave here 10. So that is the terminating condition. You have to stop at 10. And it will go ahead automatically by adding 1 to the counter. So it means that I have to go from whatever is till 10. Now to my surprise, what happened is when I gave this 10, it started with 0. See, this is another thing. And it just waited till 18. As you have just seen, as I said, based on the string, we have to do lot many things. So this is first thing out of that. Your range always starts with 0. And this 10 is not inclusive, and hence Narendra suggested me to replace it with 11. And let's see, if I replace it with 11, will I get? Yes, because 11 will be excluded. But still my problem is there. 0. I want to remove that 0. अब क्या करेंगे? Great, very good. Sukanya has suggested me कि you can use like slice. you can start at 1. Done. So it says that instead of starting at 0, start at 1 and go till 11. And done. Yeah, we got whatever we wanted. Now what? If I can I try here saying 3? Like in case of slice, we said 1, 11, 3. Does that mean kids start at 1, go till 11 and skip 3 values? So let's check. And yes, it's the same thing. So till 11, if you go on incrementing by 3, correct? So 1, 3, then it has displayed you 7 into 2, 14, and then 20. So it is up to you. So see, this is the first thing. Again, I am saying this is the first usage of for loop, wherein you can use for loop with range function in the same manner that we have used slice. The only difference, always remember, the only difference is that in slice we use the colon operator to separate the things, start, end, and increment, or the step part. In case of range, we have comma. So sometimes we get, as a initial new programmer, we missed on that. Now one more we'll take with for. Once again, I like to visit the string, and the same thing, I'll say India is my country. Now what? So see, what I'm doing is I'm saying for space char in is again a keyword. Now I'll say str. I'll say print char. And done. Correct? See, now this time, as I said, strings are really interesting in Python. Whenever you have a string, you don't have to really mention from where to start and where to end. String means it has whole of this information. Correct? It knows from where to start and where to end. It will always start at 0 and it will end at the last character. You don't have to worry about it. Am I clear? Okay. Can anybody suggest if I want to display it in reverse order, can I do so? Can I say I want to display? Yeah. How I can modify? Anybody would try? Okay, I'll try here. Let's say str and what else? Fine. Okay. Narendra is saying something. Has said something. Okay. And I am saying something. So let's see what happens. And yesterday I asked you, or last time anything I asked you to kind of done. So in strings we have slice operator. Don't worry about it. Okay? We did it. Now same thing will go here. At this place, if I want to display this multiplication table in the reverse order, that means 20 to 2. What should I do? We have displayed the string. Now once again you see, we displayed the string using this notation, slice operator, and you can say the last one is direction. So plus direction goes from 0 to last, minus goes in the reverse direction from right to left. Now same question I have, I want to display multiplication table in the reverse order. How do I? Are you thinking? Oh no. Am I audible to everyone? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible to everyone? Yeah. So I was expecting your thought on this. What to do? How many of you are thinking keep replace here, not 3 now, but 1 by -1 in the same manner? Have you given a thought for this? Because here, what we did, we have step option. As the last time we said -1, right? No, Guru is saying no, it won't work. Okay, so anything else? Now see, as far as the range is concerned, as the word suggests, range, you have to give from where to where. Now I said, assume that this particular thing, that is 1, 11, -1. So it means what? Start at 1, go till 11, every time step back -1. So what will happen? Will you able to reach at 11 anytime? Never. So then, very first, I'll try with this only 11, 1. So let me check whether I can get it. It is saying out of the for loop. Okay, can I say like this? Right? But now, once again the same thing. First thing, yeah, Sukanya has given the answer as 10 to 0. Now she is saying 10 to 0 because as we say it is inclusive. So this time 11, I cannot give 11, I have to say 10. So because it will start from 10 multiplying. 1 is n, which is exclusive. So 1 lega hi nahi, so I have to go till 0. Go till 0 and -1. Done. Correct? So it is how it will go. So this is another example of using loop with for. So for is really flexible. We have just seen two usages of for in case of Python. Very first is using the range. Now as far as the range is concerned, it is only related to numeric values wherein you have a start value, you have end value, or optionally you have the step value. So range is called as function that's normally used with for, and it acts as a counter internally and becomes really useful. Whereas in case of strings, literally if you're going into the correct direction, that is the normal usual direction from left to right, no need to mention anything. But yes, if you want to have some control, then yes, you can go with slice operator, not the range, right? Because with strings, range won't work. So this is what the another use of for is. Whereas in case of for, I can use one more thing that is very interesting. Maybe let me check. Okay, with range I'll try. Now we have given this print out of the for loop over here. I can make use of something called as else in for loop. Correct? Now we'll see how it executes. First of all, whether it executes. Oh no, here it is not allowing me. Okay, fine. So this is the newer version of maybe this. It is not allowing me. Otherwise, the earlier version of for loop allowed me to use else even. You can make use of else as well. So right now, so no. And apart from that, there are many things that we can use it in between, for and in and so forth. So how to do that, we are going to step ahead in the next session. So yes, the next session will be more interesting, because over there we are going to see the additional advanced data types of Python and for loop together, how we can work on that. So I hope you have got at least how to work with for, right? So what I want is, I want you to try displaying the multiplication table again for numbers 2 to 5. I want you to display multiplication table from 2 till 5. That's it, using for loop in Python. So just try it out that and give it to me. And those who know programming, uh, I want them to count the number of characters, number of spaces, and the vowels. Those who know the programming, they will accept a string from the user, and they will try to find out the number of spaces, number of characters, and the vowels. Okay? So that is what you have as available as the assignment to think. Next we'll go further with the new and interesting data types and the for loop once again. Thank you. Stay safe, stay home. Good night. Bye bye. And if you have any doubt, please connect with me on WhatsApp. Thank you.